For those of us who had been involved in the campus sexual assault movement, this backlash was familiar. At the time the Weinstein story broke, I was a year out of law school, working at the National Women's Law Center, a feminist nonprofit based in Washington, D.C. As a law student, I'd split my time between feminist advocacy and criminal defense. After graduation, I started a fellowship with the Law Center, focusing on discriminatory student discipline meted out against girls of color. I connected to the girls with whom we worked, partly because I, too, had been introduced to the law as a student in need of legal help. In 2011, when I was an undergrad at Yale, I had joined 15 friends to file a complaint against our college with the U.S. Department of Education. By tolerating sexual harassment, including violence, against students like us, we said, the college had violated the law that prohibits sex discrimination in schools. Title IX of the Education Amendments of 1972, popularly known as just Title IX. The Department of Education investigated Yale and spurred it to change its policies. The school abandoned its opaque, labyrinthine set of reporting systems and debuted a clearer process for survivors to come forward. It also started publishing regular reports about what kinds of sexual harassment complaints it had received and their outcomes, giving the community some insight into behind-the-scenes decisions. The process still wasn't perfect, but it was much improved. Around the same time, a friend of a friend named Dana Bolger was organizing against Amherst College's abysmal handling of sexual abuses. We talked on the phone, and then frequently over email and Facebook. Online, we connected with students and young alumni of other colleges who had faced similar issues. In those conversations, we swapped advocacy strategies, pooled our experiences, and came to see common threads. One was that few of us had known about our legal rights under Title IX when we needed them. Over the summer of 2013, Dana and I decided to put together accessible legal explainers for student survivors. We called the project Know Your 9. In collaboration with other activists, we wrote up the basics of Title IX's protections against sexual harassment and offered tips about organizing on campus. We published those resources on a website and disseminated them on social media. Our plan was to wrap up before the fall. Dana still had a semester of college to finish. I was about to start law school. We did not wrap up. Know Your 9 grew from a summer project to a national campaign. I wish I could say it expanded because of some strategic insight our team shared. But the truth is that the scope of the problem and the need for an organized student voice was much greater than we had anticipated. Know Your 9 did not only need to bring the law to students, we also needed to bring student voices to lawmakers. Our first big action was a protest outside the Department of Education at which we delivered a petition with over 175,000 signatures, pushing the department to enforce Title IX and hold schools accountable for wrongdoings. Although we initially met resistance from government officials, over the next few years, many of our demands became federal policy. At our urging, the department started publicly announcing when its investigations turned up Title IX violations. Finally, schools might see a reason to follow the law. We sought and received guarantees that undocumented survivors could file Title IX complaints with the government without risking deportation. We pushed officials to provide clear instructions that schools needed to offer survivors services like mental health care free of charge. We helped legislators pass good laws and defeat bad ones, like proposed statutes that would have forced schools to turn over all reports to the police. More on that later. The Know Your 9 team worked alongside students across the country who were organizing to change their schools for the better, such as Columbia undergraduate Emma Sulkowitz, who made front-page news with her visually stunning mattress performance, Carry That Weight. Students at other colleges, as well as ones still in high school, investigated their school's policies, drafted reforms, and demanded change that would make their classrooms safe and equitable. The work was hard, but often the students won.